everyone, Saki here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys all about all of the bags that I've sold and why I've sold them. I just thought this video would be really useful to film because I know that when I'm buying a bag, I like to know both the good and the bad sides of it, and finding out why a person has owned the bag and has also sold it to me is very, very useful. And in today's video, I'm actually only going to be talking about maybe 10 of these bags. Some of the bags I've just gotten and I can't explain why, but I just don't love them. Those bags I don't really have a good reason besides I just didn't love them or didn't fall in love with them like at first sight, so I won't be talking about those bags just because I don't think that's very helpful, but I will talk about the bags that I have owned and used and have sold on, and I can actually pinpoint the reasons why I've done that. So if you're interested in this video, please stay tuned. Before we get started, I just wanted to quickly say hello and welcome to any new viewers that might be watching this video. Hello, my name is Saki. I make videos every single week about cute and luxury fashion, so if that is your thing and if you like those things as well, please subscribe to my channel. Alright, so I do have a list on my phone and I'm going to try and go in chronological order, but my memory kind of gets, you know, a little bit hazy during the middle. But I'll definitely start with like one of the first bags I've sold, leading to my most recent bag that I've sold. So the first one that I want to talk about is a bag that I had a very, very long time ago, and it's the Ysl Sac du Jour. Obviously, I don't have these bags anymore, so I will insert photos of me carrying them and of the bag in general. So I loved this bag when I had it. I loved the size of it. I loved everything about it. The one that I had, I think, was in the medium size, I'm pretty sure. I actually bought it because I wanted a functional work bag, and I thought this was the perfect size and the perfect shape for it. However, I bought mine in the pink smooth leather. They actually didn't have the grained leather in the pink colorway. I bought mine pre-loved from Yuki's Closet, and it wasn't very expensive. I definitely bought it below retail price, but the reason why I didn't get on with that bag is because of the smooth leather. So I actually bought it as a work bag, like I mentioned before, and I wanted to use it like functionally every day. And I found that because the leather was smooth and it scratched very, very easily, I was actually super afraid of that leather. Just from owning it like maybe a week or two, I had already gotten a couple scratches like on the front and the back. You could buff it out a little bit, I think, but that was only because mine were so small. I felt super afraid that if I had gotten bigger scratches, I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. And yeah, it just made me really, really paranoid, especially because I wanted to use it every day. The other two things that bothered me about that bag were the microfiber lining. It is such a big bag, and to have it all in the like really nice microfiber lining just made me really paranoid. It was very, very hard to clean. I actually got a stain in it. I think it was like some sort of juice or something, but it was super, super hard to clean out, and I actually ended up not being able to clean it out. And I feel just like with textile lining for bigger bags is a lot better because it's easier to clean. I don't know if that's just my opinion or if I don't know how to clean microfiber, but it was just really, really difficult to deal with. And then the last thing that I had a problem with that bag is actually the middle compartment. So the way that that bag was like it had a big compartment, but it was sectioned out into two smaller compartments. And I think in some versions of the bag you could actually take the middle compartment out and make it one big open space, but mine you couldn't. Mine was just attached, and because there was a divider that was dividing the main compartment, I just felt like I could never put like something super bulky in it when it was such a big bag, if that makes sense. So for example, my Givenchy Antigona is one huge compartment. You can chuck shoes, you can chuck another handbag in there, and because there is no restriction on the way that the compartment is like, you know, divided or anything, you can literally just put anything in there. And because the Ysl Sac du Jour had that middle compartment, I could never just stick anything I wanted to in there. It was just like items that can only fit in the two slender compartments, and I just thought that was really weird, especially for how big the bag was on the outside. So that bag just did not work for me for those reasons. The second bag that I want to talk about is one that I don't think a lot of people know that I owned, but it's actually the 2017 Cruise Collection Chanel rectangular mini in the calfskin leather in the pink colorway, of course. I actually had this bag for only a couple of months before I decided to part ways with it, and this one I actually kind of regret, but the only reason why I didn't keep it at the time was because I actually had 3 chevron bags. I had that one, the Gucci Marmont, and the Ysl Wallet on a chain. Funnily enough, I actually don't own any of these bags anymore, but I got rid of the Chanel rectangular mini because I didn't like how I had so many chevron pieces at the time. I'm not a huge fan of chevron. I actually don't have any chevron pieces right now, and I did get that one last of the 3 that I own, so I did decide that I didn't really need it in my collection. The reason why I kind of say that I regret it now is because I actually don't have any chevron pieces anymore, and I would like just to have one, just to, you know, mix my collection up a little bit, and I do like the way that it looks. I just didn't feel like I needed 3 at the time. I love the Chanel mini, as you guys may know. It's absolutely amazing bag. I love how you can use it crossbody, how it's very versatile, and literally that was the only reason why I had sold that bag at the time. I know that's not very helpful if you you are deciding to buy that bag, but I just wanted to throw that out there because that was my experience with the bag. The next bag that I will talk about is the Gucci Marmont in the pink colorway. I have a whole video about this bag. It's actually a review video of this bag, so I do go in depth, in detail about it. I will link it down below for you if you're interested, and in that video I also go on to why I've sold the bag. So I will only mention it briefly here, but basically I just thought it was a it bag. If you've watched my video about bags I won't buy, I'll link that down below for you as well if you're interested in it. But in that video I talked to death about why I don't buy it bags. This meaning bags that I think are really trendy, ones that I think really cool girls wear and stuff like that. And it's because I always feel like those bags are wearing me. Like I have to change my clothing and my style in order to be able to wear that bag. And honestly, a bag should be able to complement your style, right? Like you shouldn't feel like you have to change in order to suit the style of a bag. And that's really how I felt about that bag. I loved it. I loved the way that it looked. I loved the size. It could hold a lot, and I pretty much loved everything about it, but it just wasn't for me. Like every time I wore it, I just feel like I had to wear cooler clothes, trendier clothes, and you know, be a person that I really wasn't. And so ultimately that's why I decided to sell the bag. The next bag we'll talk about is one of the first luxury bags that I ever revealed in my channel, and that was the vintage 7 series Chanel medium flap in lambskin leather, and it was in this really light blush baby pink color. I loved that bag so much when I first got it. I think it was my first Chanel flap bag, and when I purchased it I loved everything about it. I loved the blush color, I loved the lambskin texture, I loved the gold hardware. However, I actually found that I didn't really reach for it because I was too afraid of the delicate vintage lambskin, which is funny because I actually just bought a vintage lambskin that's even older than that bag. And in this reveal video I actually mentioned how I was still afraid to use it, but I'm trying to get over that just because this is a really special bag. It's 1992 2 series and it's in my birth year, so it's the same age as me, and I'm trying to get over my fear of using vintage bags because this one is so special and I'm definitely keeping it. But yeah, with that blush one that I had, it was just so delicate. I felt like if I bumped it into anything it was gonna scratch and fall apart, and I just didn't want to worry so much about a bag. And because it was in a super light pink, like this one is in a more baby pink, so it's a little bit darker, but that one was like maybe this color. It was so blush. I felt like color transfer was bound to happen even though I don't wear any dark clothes. It was just, yeah, I was just really afraid to use that bag. And if you know me, my philosophy is that if you're not going to use a bag, you just have to get rid of it because it's not meant to be. The next bag is another more recent bag that I actually got rid of, and it is the Ysl Kate bag in the small size pink smooth leather with the tassel. I love the look of this bag. I actually put this bag again in my luxury wish list video, but in a bigger size. That size, the size small that I had was so incredibly small that you literally couldn't fit anything. You might think that's strange because I do have 2 Chanel wallet and chains where they're very small as well, but with the wallet on chains you can actually like expand it and kind of stuff it and it'll kind of expand around your items. With the Ysl Kate bag, it was actually so thick and so like heavy duty that it would just not expand at all. With this Ysl Kate bag, because it was also a magnetic lock closure, if you tried to shove more stuff in it, it just won't close at all, and it wouldn't like try to conform around your items whatsoever. So that was the main reason that I got rid of it, because I love the look of it. Like I said, I am still on the hunt for that bag in the pink leather in the medium size, but the small size is just a definitely no-go for me. Let's talk about my Prada double queer, I'm not sure how to say it, tote bag. I had this bag for a good while, even though a lot of people didn't even know that I owned it. It's because I never really wore it. And this is definitely all because of me and because of the colorway that I bought it in. I bought it in the, what does Prada call that color? Oh, cameo. I bought it in the cameo colorway, which is Prada's very beautiful nude neutral color. I thought that I would love that color because it does complement pink very well. I love the way that it looked with pink, but ultimately because it wasn't pink, I just never wore it. I know, I have a problem. I only could carry pink bags. So this is definitely strictly just on me. It does come in a very light baby pink colorway, but I've never actually seen that one being sold. I would love to own this bag again, but definitely in the baby pink colorway. colorway instead of the neutral colorway. So if you guys see it on the pre-loved market, please let me know, because I do think it's a very useful bag. I'm really not a tote girl, so I feel like because I'm not really a tote fan and because I got it in a colorway that I don't usually gravitate towards, it just didn't work out for me for both of those reasons. I feel like if it was one or the other, like if it was a neutral color and a bag that I definitely would use, like, you know, a small flat bag or just a smaller bag in general that I could carry every day, or if it was in a pink colorway, I would definitely use it one way or the other. I just definitely found myself not using it because of that. The next bag will definitely come as a surprise, I think, if you haven't been following me on my Instagram for a while, and that is the Chloe Drew bag. So yes, I owned the Chloe Drew bag at one point. It was a very, very long time ago. I actually only had it for a very, very short while before I moved on, and I just had to get rid of it because it was so fussy. If you know me and if you've watched my videos, you'll know that I hate fussy bags and floppy bags, and that bag was definitely both. I had it in the, I think I had it in the medium size. It wasn't the smaller size, it was the slightly larger size, and it was just so floppy. Like whenever I tried to go close the bag, it just flopped around so much, and I could never like link the, you know, lock closure together, and I just found it so fussy, and I hated the way that it looked like open if you didn't close the bag. So ultimately that just drove me insane, and I had to sell it. I actually right afterwards bought a dupe of it on Shein, and I actually got it in the smaller size, and I know it was a dupe so the leathers don't like exactly correlate or anything, but I actually found that I liked the small size a lot better and it was easier to close. It could just be because of the, you know, crappy cheap leather that Shein used being not as delicate as obviously the nice leather that the Chloe uses. And would I buy the Chloe bag again in the smaller size? I'm not sure. I don't think so. It's just because of the price point that it is and the fact that the other one didn't work out for me. I'm kind of really scared of buying it, so I don't think that I will ever use it. The next bag I wanted to address in this video because I have never actually really talked about it before, and it is the Chanel Reissue 225 in the pink calfskin leather and the gold hardware. I made a whole video about this bag and comparing it to my Chanel medium. So the reason why I said I've never addressed this is because I actually did sell this. I don't know if a lot of people know that, and the reason why you see the reissue right here is because I actually did buy my dream size in the 226 size. I actually sold the 225 because I had this idea in my mind that some like cosmic thing was going to happen where if I sold it, it would align that I actually could find this bag in the 226 size, because I've never actually seen it in the 226 size, which is my dream size. I've only seen it in the 225 a couple of different times, and I felt like, okay, if I hold on to it, the 226 size would never appear, so I had to get rid of it in order for the size that I wanted to even appear, if that makes sense. I know it's a little bit crazy, and I know like some people don't believe in that stuff, but it actually worked for me because immediately after I sold it, my dream size popped up on eBay, and it was a really good price. I was actually able to sell my bag for almost the exact price that I bought my new bag in, so yeah, it just all kind of worked out from there. And the only reason why I sold the 225 size is because I thought that it was a little bit too small. It's actually a little bit smaller in capacity compared to the classic flap in the medium size, and that bag I already think is really small in terms of what you can fit in it, so the 225 size just did not work out for me. I'm only going to be talking about two more bags now. The next bag that I have to talk about is the Ysl Wallet on a chain. I actually kind of cheated with this bag because I gave it to my mom. She gave me a little bit of money for it, but not that much because I, you know, felt bad like charging my mom for a bag, but she really wanted it. I actually let her borrow it for an event that we went to in Thailand, and she actually fell in love with it afterwards, so I just had to. I actually wasn't really using it either because I just felt like I never really gravitated towards it. The only reason why I really kept it in my collection was because it's one of the only bags that I had that was waterproof and really durable, because it was in the like YSL pebbled leather, and I only have one other bag that's in like the pebbled caviar leather, so I just felt like I needed another bag to mix it up and to be able to wear on the days that, you know, are rainy or I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. But honestly, I really wasn't reaching for that because I do love my Chanel walks more, as you will know from my channel, because I do talk about my wallet on a chains all the time. And then the last bag that I want to talk about is the most recent one that I've sold, and that is the Lady Dior in the pink lambskin and gold hardware. I actually only bought that bag a couple of months ago, and I've already sold it. I've already talked about this, but the reason being is because I didn't ever want to wear it. I would be so afraid of it. The lambskin is the softest softest, most delicate lambskin I've ever felt in my life. And I think it's because I don't really own a lot of new bags, and that bag was brand spanking new from the store from 2018. And I just was so afraid of taking that bag out, so afraid of using it. I babied it to death whenever I did wear it out, and it was giving me so much stress that I just had to get rid of it, because I am a firm believer that if you aren't using a bag, and if a bag causes you that much stress when you're using it, you should probably sell it for something that you will actually use and actually enjoy. Even though I did like looking at that bag, I mean, being happy while looking at it did not justify the $4,500 price point that it had. So yeah, I definitely just had to part ways with it and say goodbye to it. And honestly, I was really okay with that, because I do still have my 2 Lady Dior's that I do still use and enjoy. So yeah, it was kind of easy for me to let that one go. Alright, that was all the bags that I wanted to talk about today. I hope that you found this video useful. I tried to incorporate other reasons besides the fact that I just didn't like a bag, so that in case you are researching any of these bags, you might be able to find this video useful, and it might steer you in one direction or the other. Let me know any of your opinions on these bags as well. If you have any in the comment section down below, I would love to know. And as always, don't forget to give my video a big thumbs up if you liked it or found it useful. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well, because I do upload videos every single week. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!